Hello beautiful people of the world, my name is Sabrina and welcome to my channel. So today I have a book haul for you. I recently went to Costa Rica and I bought a lot of books there, and as if that's not enough books, I decided to order some more books from Book Outlet. So I'm super excited to show you. So the first book that I got is one that I have already read, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I got it on my Kindle and on Audible when it first came out, and I hadn't had the opportunity to buy the physical copies, but it's just so beautiful. I love it when books do this to the hardcover versions. It's really disappointing when I take the dust jacket off and it has nothing on it. Probably going to reread it before the second book comes out next year because I feel like I read it too fast and I don't remember all the details already, even though I read it this year. But yeah, I'm super excited to own it. The second book that I got in Costa Rica was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. Are we really surprised though? Anyway, One of Us is Lying is about a group of teens that get detention, and one of them mysteriously dies, and the only people who could have done it are the group that were in detention. So obviously they all say they're not guilty, and well, one of them is lying, so there you go. I actually haven't read it. It is on my TBR for the Reading Rush, which starts next week. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it. The next book that I have is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is a book that I've heard nothing but good things about. This book is about a girl, Xiomara, and it is a collection of poems that she writes regarding what's happening in her life, and I think that's super cool, and I'm really excited to read it. I feel like it's going to be a very fast read, and I can already tell that it's going to be such a beautiful story. The next book I got is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I am not 100% sure what this book is about. I was told that it is about these two families that somehow connect to each other because of the house that they live in, and eventually this house burns down, and this is the story of everything that led up to the house burning. So that's all I really know, and I don't really want to know anything else because I like to go into books not knowing like 100% what they're about, so that I don't have any expectations as to what's going to happen. This is also going to be adapted into a TV show. Reese Witherspoon is an executive producer, and I'm really excited about that. I feel like Reese is doing like a really great job turning books into TV shows. Like Big Little Lies is so good. And I feel like this is going to be great, and obviously I want to read the book before watching the series, so I'm really excited for this. The next books I got are a trilogy, and that is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. The first book is The Knife of Never Letting Go. The second book is The Ask and the Answer. And the third book is Monsters of Man. I have already read this one. I hadn't read it when I bought it, but I read it really quickly. This is about a boy named Todd. Todd lives in New World, so basically Earth becomes uninhabitable, and a bunch of people decide to leave the planet and become settlers, and they start looking for new planets that they could live in. So Todd is a boy that was already born in New World, and New World is very peculiar because there is a virus in the air that affects the man, and what it does is that everyone can hear their thoughts. They basically live in a world of noise. So the story follows Todd as he deals with learning everything that happens once the settlers arrived to New World, and everything that happens in his town, Prentice Town, and it's just a wild ride, and I really enjoyed it. I am currently reading The Ask and the Answer, and I'm already about 158 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it, and I do seriously recommend it. It is being adapted into a film, although it is kind of in limbo. Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley are the stars, and it seems like when they tested the movie, it didn't do that great, and they had to do a bunch of reshoots this year. It is scheduled to come out next year, hopefully. But I'm very, very pleased with this series so far, and you should read it if you haven't. Then I got Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak. Markus Zusak is one of my favorite authors of all time. I absolutely adore The Book Thief, but even more than The Book Thief, I love his other book, I Am the Messenger. I actually don't know what it's about, shocker, but it's Markus Zusak, so it was an instant buy. Next, I got the Slytherin hardcover editions of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. I know that Prisoner of Azkaban has already come out, but they didn't have it, so I bought these two. I already had Philosopher's Stone in paperback, but I really wanted to get the hardcovers because I don't actually own Harry Potter in hardcover. I have my original copy of Deathly Hallows and Half-Blood Prince are in hardcover, but the rest are in paperback, and they're falling apart. So I really wanted to get like hardcover, and I think that the house editions are so beautiful and worth having. So I'm going to collect them all. Hopefully I'm able to get my hands on Prisoner of Azkaban soon. Those are all the books that I got in Costa Rica. Now I'm going to show you the ones that I got from Book Outlet. First, I got the Sherlock Holmes series trilogy. I think it was originally supposed to be a trilogy, but I feel like another book came out. The series consists of A Study in Charlotte, the first book, The Last of August, the second book, and The Case for Jamie. This story follows Sherlock Holmes and Jamie Watson. They're the descendants of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson. In this world, they actually existed, and John is the one that wrote all the Sherlock Holmes books and their adventures. And the story starts with Charlotte and Jamie. A murder occurs, and they're being framed for it, so they must find out what actually happened. Something I do have to say though that I did not hear about in any other like review or anything is that there is like trigger warning or content warning for sexual assault and drug abuse. If you do have triggers regarding those subjects, please be safe and, read something else. Another book that I got, similar plot, like murder mystery, is Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. This is the same author by One of Us is Lying, and I have no idea what this book is about, like, at all. I just bought it because I've heard really good things about it, and I know that it involves a murder, and as I've already told you, I really, really love these type of stories, so I'm super excited to read it. The next book that I got is The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. This is the second book in the Last Magician series. I read The Last Magician earlier this year, and I really, really liked it. It is a fantasy that takes place in modern day. It follows our main character, Esta, who has to travel through time to the 1920s to retrieve a magical artifact, and she must bring it back. I know I'm not doing a great job at describing what it's about, but I swear it's really, really good, and you should read it if you're interested. If you are interested in fantasy and like time travel and magical powers, it's super, super good. And I can't wait to read this one. My camera overheated and I had to wait for it to cool down a little bit. So I'm going to try and be quick. I only have 2 books left. The first one is the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. Actually, I already own the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I have a Penguin Classics edition that includes both The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. However, I could not pass the opportunity to buy this edition because it is just stunning. Like, this illustration is so, so beautiful. And I do really like Sherlock Holmes, so if I'm able to collect various beautiful editions of Sherlock Holmes, I'm going to be so happy. And plus, it was only like $3 or $4 on Book Outlet, so bargain, okay? I could not pass this opportunity up. The last book that I bought was an accidental buy because I thought it was a different book, because I already own this book, and that is A Torch Against the Night by Sabatier, which is right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. I have the original hardcover edition, but the cover changes confused me, okay? Because I only glanced at the cover and I was like, oh yeah, I don't have a Reaper at the Gates. I should buy it. This was not a Reaper at the Gates, and I realized that it wasn't a Reaper at the Gates too late. If this has happened to you before, please let me know, because I feel really stupid. And I definitely need to make sure next time that I'm actually buying the book that I think I'm buying. Thank you so much for watching, guys. These are not all the books. I have overall like 17 books. I am trying my best to hold them all up. I decided not to pick up the Harry Potter or Chaos Walking ones because I can barely hold these up. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have read any of the books I mentioned, please let me know what you thought of them. All my information is down below if you want to check it out. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!